That's Not It Academy. Here we are again, mid-conversation, not like all the time, but like we were talking, we're like, wait, why aren't we recording yet? So, here we go. Man, my allergies kicking in. So,
Well, I mean,
got
it's
warm.
like 70 degrees outside.
Yeah, 70 degrees, got warm, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh man,
And
I've been
it's
sneezing all
February.
day, and yeah, February.
It's February 7th, and it's 70 degrees outside.
Yeah. All that being said, it's not unlikely that we might get. Ooh, that lighting's weird. There we go. Back to. Maybe not. From my understanding, I thought we might still potentially have some more
Winter.
weather. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I shared something about that yesterday. It was like, oh, it showed the 17 seasons around here, and it's like,
Yeah. I saw
winter,
that.
full spring,
Yeah.
second winter, spring again, third winter, actual spring.
Yeah, like it's just back to winter again and other stuff. Yeah, is there more than one left, or is there just one left? Huh? I guess if you want it, twist. Alright, but
That's a good topic. Root beer. You like root beer?
actually, yeah,
Weird. I've never enjoyed the taste of root beer.
no, I like root beer.
Never understood why.
Not a big fan of like root beer candies.
Yeah,
Stuff
I don't
like that?
And I think that's where it came from. It's like the first time I ever had the flavor of root beer. It was like the little lollipops.
Yeah,
When I used to get my haircut as a kid, like little kid.
Yeah.
They'd always give me one, and I
Yeah.
happened to pick that one time, and I was like,
not a big fan of that, but like I like the soft drink. I like root beer. And then
really
I think I liked
cream
it because
soda.
I like cream soda.
Orange cream
and then,
soda is the best.
Yeah, well, I had that one. Yeah, but I think also my grandfather, root beer floats. Didn't know what that was until him, and then vanilla ice cream, root beer. Like, hey,
You know,
How do
crazy
you really
being
go wrong
around,
with
like spending a lot of time around my dad and my uncle when I was growing up. I learned about something like the moon pies and RC cola, and then also,
was there something with moon pie and RC cola?
oh yeah, they can go together like peas and carrots, man. You never knew that?
No.
I guess it might be a southern thing.
Yeah,
But, like-
I was like, there's something with that. I was
Yeah.
like, nah, I didn't know.
Just like the peanuts and Coke too. That's another thing. Like
It
that's
just-
actually really good.
that
If none of y'all tried it,
looks weird. To
it's
me.
getting popular again.
Oh.
But it's really good. Like when I worked at Roadhouse, because there's peanuts everywhere.
It just looks weird.
It tastes good. You'd be
Really?
nice. That's sweet and salty.
I'm down with sweet and salty and stuff like that. So, ICB, if you would like to sponsor the Cerebus Wrestling Podcast,
I'll
you
sponsor
should.
his half.
He'll drink it too. He'll like it. Okay, like sponsor the webcast. Okay, and there you go.
It's
Child friendly.
root beer, not beer.
Yeah,
it's,
it's glad for the clarification. But speaking of sponsors, Roll Soap, Cerebus Wrestling, get yourself 10% off. Buy yourself a case or two or 20. Actually, looking forward to.
I love it.
Yeah.
I still use it all the time.
Oh yeah, like I said, it feels weird when I run out and I have to order some more and
Yeah.
whatnot. But
I feel dry when I don't use it. Like if I use normal soap, like my skin gets real dry.
yeah, no, it's the oils and I think
Yeah.
really work out. So I've noticed that as well. We haven't even gotten to a bit of wrestling talk, but anyway, get yourself some roll soap. And before we get into it, like I'm actually looking forward to the orange cream coming back out with roll soap. And you mentioned orange cream, so
Well, we don't know. I mean, because it's not really summer again yet. I mean, I know
okay,
you put
not
it on there, so
yeah.
we gotta-
Again,
we
yeah,
gotta
he's
find
still
out.
probably locked in the snow up there.
Yeah.
So all right, well,
We'll
whenever it
find
stops
out.
snowing in the rest of the country
You know,
too.
that one was really good. I like the smell of it.
Yeah. So, all right. On the rest of the night, we did have like a little docket set up or texted some stuff to talk about, and figured we would start off like everybody else in the world talking about DeSanto, and I want to start off with before we get into what we want to do. I want to get into actually a couple things with him. He got suspended for a match.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the suspension? Like warranted, not warranted, and
Warranted.
really okay, thought warranted.
Yeah.
I kind of felt warranted as well.
I hate it. Don't get me wrong. I hate it, but it is warranted because if you've looked his past few matches recently, or
Escalating.
yeah, he's kind of getting a little too much. Now I love it as a
Oh
fan.
gosh, man! Like
I find it
entertainment wise, like
hilarious.
oh my goodness,
Like
he
when
is
he-
so entertaining to watch.
That tech, when he got that tech, he sat there and walked him over to looked at his bench and held up the 5 for the tech. I thought that was hilarious. Now I can understand why they do that. Iowa's got a certain culture there. They're all about discipline and all that, and they're trying to rein him in. But because you can kind of see that he's getting a little out of hand, especially after he did win that little shove.
The shove was
That
extra,
was a little
shushing the
excess.
bench,
Yeah.
and then remind me what I was gonna say about like with your bench, and then like when you start directing celebrations to other people.
Yeah.
But I did feel like it was warranted as well. So I agreed with you, and then I was thinking about it, and I was like, I was really surprised with the social media
Oh, I
response.
thought you were
where
saying it just being one match.
no, where no, I'm good with just one match too. It's like everybody was like, "Why? What he did wasn't that bad in that match."
Yeah.
And then I also realized that I was like, a lot of people thought it was just over that one match. They didn't realize this was like they recognized a pattern and they're fixing that pattern, which is why I was okay with it. Like, hey, rein it back in. They're gonna fix that and do all that. But I was really surprised with the number of people whom I initially thought hated DeSanto and just kind of joked about him all that, and who okay, yeah, this guy here. But no, but like the vast majority of people that hated him or always like saying bad things about him and
Yeah.
whatnot, and then he gets suspended, you'd figure that there had been much more of like needed to happen sooner, need more of that, should have been suspended a long time ago.
Yeah.
Everybody instead has been like the general thing that I've seen so far has been like, why? Nothing's wrong with that. Like, this is wrestling. It's tough, blah blah blah. I was like, wow, it's seemingly like
I think
when did it
it's-
flip that all of a sudden it's like DeSanto love? Like
I think it's kind of
Yeah.
like the 1980s Ric Flair, modern day Conor McGregor. Like, you're not gonna have anyone who's indifferent. They're not gonna be like, "What do you think of DeSanto?" You're either gonna have people who really love it or really hate it. But I think a lot of people are kind of
I thought everybody
they
hated
love
him,
it.
but
I think a lot
but
of
now
people are
they're
coming around. They're like,
N-
it's kind
now
of
that-
fun to watch.
I think it's entertainment and stuff like that. But now I
I
was
was
just
backing it up. That's the thing. I think
It
that's why
is.
people are getting behind it
And-
because it's like
and I was really surprised that many
Yeah.
people were like, dude, this is absurd. Why? Just
Yeah.
handle it another way or something else. So the support for DeSanto on that one just kind of shocked me a little bit. I was really
Well, you know
expecting a lot
this
more.
is kind of
the,
crazy, and it kind of alludes to what we'll talk about later with the whole team point issue. But you know what's crazy is that in our sport, suspended for one match can actually be pretty detrimental to a team overall, because
Could be.
that one loss can be what pulls you back. As far as like overall rankings and whatnot. I mean, it's not like a huge deal, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it can have a huge impact.
But that's been like the whole deal with this year too, in general, of like missing one match and like how are they gonna like rank people who haven't wrestled each other, or like, hey, if this person gets a win over this person and this person here, but they never met because they didn't wrestle, and like I think it throws rankings into a tizzy and everything else.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you got
Yeah.
people who are undefeated that are, like Seabass.
yeah, I
He's
mean,
still
who,
undefeated, and then you got people like Michich, who
people,
are-
yeah, who's undefeated, apparently looking good, but
yeah.
I'm like,
pound for
but-
pound,
and
yeah.
look, I'm gonna go and say it right now. As crazy as it is, though, the way DeSanto's going, he might mess around and win NCAA's.
I wouldn't say win NCAA's, but he
Look
will.
at the man has done lost his mind,
He
and there
has.
is ain't nobody in the world that
He
can tell him
has.
that he can't win it, and he's gonna
No,
go out there
I mean,
with that.
If it happens, I wouldn't be shocked.
That's what I'm saying. Like
But
at the
same
beginning
time,
of
I
the
don't think it will.
at the beginning of the year, I was like, no way. He's
He
gonna
will
he's gonna AA for sure. I thought I was gonna.
Oh,
But-
there's no doubt he's gonna A.
But
this
the
year,
way
too.
things are going at 133 this year, and people beating people, and like DeSanto could get. I mean, he's ranked third right now, but like depending on like Big Tens, and everything goes
and where he
down.
gets put into the
Like
bracket.
his draw or something could happen, and like, I mean, dude could make a run and he could win it. He could
could.
mess around and win this thing.
Now he could be in a weird draw and run into like
He
someone
could-
like Suriano.
He could
way
run
too
into
soon.
Siriano and then run into Fix,
Siriano
or-
wins.
and then like
Pissed.
depending on how things are going crazy,
Yeah.
like you could run into Fix and then you could run into Siriano on the backside. Like, oh my gosh, like everybody's beating everybody, and it's all crazy. Like, you could either really come up on two hammers and like have a really
Well, it was
bad
kind of
turn,
like 25 last year. Like 25
Yeah,
was that
25
because
is
you
that
had Darian Cruz, you had Spencer Lee, you had Suriano down there,
Yeah,
you had
Sir-
Nato down there. I mean, it was kind of like one of those
wrestler.
things.
I
Yeah,
mean,
wrestler. I mean, you had these guys, and you're just like, oh goodness, this is like you. It's not a weight class you wanted to be
So,
in. 33.
I'm still gonna. I think DeSanto can mess around, and when I say
Yeah.
mess around, like I think not to take anything away from his skill set,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like Duke Man could
He's
just
got
be.
that self
He could be that man on the mission.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna stop me, and I will take every team point
Mhm.
away from me along the way, and I will win this tournament.
Screw the team points. I just want the
He could lose 5 team points and win this tournament.
possibly.
After every
Possibly.
celebration along the way. But Speaking of that,
It'd be
but let's get,
impressive.
it would be impressive.
I mean, how would the Brands brothers react though? Would they be mad or would they be happy? I mean,
Depends on if he lost by 5 team points or
oh
not.
God, yeah, if they ended up
If the placing was determined by that many number of team
Kent
points,
State beats Iowa by like 4 points over.
yeah, they would kill him.
Yeah, they would kill him. But
And then put his name on the wall for having won a national championship. So, he'd get both.
Yeah.
That being said, like originally, it being serious about it, not that we're not always serious, but like I think I look back, I had Sirianno picked to win it initially.
I think I might. Did I have Fix?
I
can't
got
remember.
the sheet somewhere over
Yeah,
here.
we got it. We got it somewhere.
But I'm not sure. At first I was like, I'm gonna switch to Fix to win it. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna go back to Sirianno. And then I was
there
like,
it
no, I might go to.
Our file cabinet.
Yes. No, you had Gross.
That gross.
Yeah.
That's
So yeah.
looks like I need to pick someone else.
Yeah, so it looks like you could get to pick somebody else, but
No, I get that. I mean, I don't have a choice.
no, you're stuck. You got.
Watch him come back. You never
Yeah.
know. I'm
So,
kidding.
but I was thinking, I was like, man, I'm really leaning toward Fix.
Yeah.
But we'll do another episode, see if we stick with this. I'm either gonna probably bounce between Fix and Sirianno.
You know
Or
what's
watch me
crazy?
mess around, pick DeSanto. But
We don't even have nickel at 97. Neither of us.
because we hadn't got to see him wrestle yet, so that was really pre-year. So,
That's pretty wild.
all right, back to DeSanto before we move on.
Did have Ashmont and Klosdick though. I wasn't
Yeah.
there. That's crazy. So yeah. back
Our
to-
idea, and this is where we're always bugged and everything else, and people will take stuff from us. But look, you can mic up an official, or they don't really do officials. You mic up a coach. You can, in the NFL, mic up the quarterback in a helmet. I want DeSanto on mic while wrestling. I want somebody to come up with the headgear and microphone, put that sucker up in there, put it right in the little hole so it's sticking out, so it's not muffled, because I want to hear him clear as day.
Yes.
And we all want to know what he says, and I want him on mic. And I want him to lose 10 team points when he has it on, because I want to hear every last word of it. Not necessarily 10. Okay, but
You
we
have
all
to-
want to know, like, why haven't we mic'd this kid up yet?
You know it would be funny because they would have to censor that, and they would have a field day trying to censor that. They would be losing their mind trying to censor everything.
Well,
that
I
came
think
out
they
of
would
his
have to censor it to a point, but, like,
mouth. Yeah.
when we've done the lip reading, or everybody's done the lip
Oh,
reading, is he cussing? Or is he like,
yes.
take that,
He has
he
a
just
couple
he says he just screams, like, I don't know. Regardless, put him on mic him up, Flo do a segment on it, I don't care. Heck, DeSanto, see me, I will find somebody with a little microphone, we'll put you on our segment, mic'd up. Is that against some sort of NCAA rules? No, we're not paying you anything for it. We're just,
So
you
if
even
Flo comes out with this
you
thing-
even pay for the shipping for the headgear, so we're all clear on this, all right? And I will send you some headgear back with some microphones in it, and you just send us the USB, all right? We're gonna make this happen.
And if Flo ends up talking about this, then they've mic'd us up. They've bugged us somewhere.
Something, somehow, some way,
I'm gonna be mad.
But
But that would be wonderful.
I want it. I want
Like
it.
not only the entire match, but the last 10 seconds
Yeah.
too. Like come on.
yeah. Especially the volume goes up in the last 10 seconds
Yeah.
and 10 seconds after the
Quiet, the crowd noise.
after the whistle. So,
Yeah.
But
That would be wonderful.
so speaking of like just those antics and the team points and all that kind of stuff, kind of leads into kind of what we were talking about. Like, are you okay with the celebrations? Kel Sanderson had a little article about it actually, and his take was like, back in the day we just wouldn't have thought to do it. Today's a different day. Kids are different. The social media aspect is different. They're heavily influenced by things like
Interesting. Those are hacky sack.
hacky sack with yes, that's where those things are. The little kerplunk things, but they're heavily influenced by things like I was reading the article, it makes sense. Fortnite,
Mhm.
and what happens is these celebrations are just becoming a regular way of the way these kids are. Fortnite, the game, has celebrations built into it. That you get a kill, you knock your person out, and they got these little dances. Everybody
Yeah.
knows the backpack floss, take the L, all these things that people are getting sued over because Carlton feels like his dance is it, But it's what they're accustomed to doing just in a game. So when they win in a match, they're just accustomed to doing these little silly celebrations. it's kind of like almost second nature to him. And now, well, Kel is like, they just need to stay respectful. But he's like, even his guys, obviously, his guys are into it too. Is it his thing? No. But he's still letting them be them and have a celebration. I'm cool with the celebrations. I don't mind them. Like, look, when Mark Hall beat somebody and like put the hammer down,
Yeah.
kind of cool looking, you know. I think that you have to realize that. Hey, look, just like anything else, you give it, you better be able to take it. When somebody celebrates over you, you can't be a bleep about it. You gotta take it like, dude, I deserved it too. I danced over you. You're gonna dance over me. But where I'm thinking, like we talked about, I was like, I don't know. The way they should draw the line is like, celebrate to your corner, celebrate, like just do the roar, do whatever it is you want to do. But as soon as you start directing it directly at somebody, I think like that's where I think like, you know, DeSanto went a little bit crazy when you're shushing the other bench and now you're pointing at the crowd or other things like that. Like, you got to tone that down. You got to, like, the celebration should be your celebration for you, not to berate somebody else or do something.
And now, see, like, it was Ashnault who did the 10.
The 10. That one was kind of led on by the coach.
And that's what I was going to get at. DeSanto, it seems like he is firing it off at anyone who's looking his direction.
Yeah.
Not even if they say, like,
But
the
that
backpack
duel,
thing.
though, was kind of weird, though. Like, I don't know. I didn't get to watch the whole duel, but I saw enough of this stuff on Flow where, did you see, like, was it Red or somebody else, like, got up all cocky? Berger was, like, yelling at he blew it. They said he blew a kiss. I can't remember if he blew a kiss or shushed. Like, the Iowa fans and Iowa benches and yelling, "This is my house," and, like, I was like, it was turning into, like, I think a volatile, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when they're starting to go at somebody, it gets a little weird. Yes, you're going to have that issue with, like, you know, Penn State Ayers. He, you know, did the 10, or he said he's not going to score on him, and, you know, he held up 10. Did he have to hold it directly to him? But I think everybody in the world would have gotten it if he just, like, got his hand raised and went, 10.
Yeah, no, I mean, but at that moment, I feel like in that match, I can understand.
Ashnault's a hothead, too, though.
Yeah. He 100% is. But like, in that scenario, when the coach says it, not saying that everyone needs to do it, I kind of say that's almost a little bit more forgivable than someone just
but
like,
at the same
getting up
time,
and
I think the
directing
coach
it for
was
no
fine.
reason.
Like, afterwards, they shook hands. And then I saw a thing that the coach, he posted this. Said, walked into youth practice and got this. One of his youth wrestlers ran by and was like, 10. You know? And, like, the fact that he was able to post that and post the picture of it meant he took it in good stride. He wasn't like, he wasn't like all butthurt about it. He was like, "Hey, that's kind of funny."
I hate Crow.
Yeah, he got me. It's funny. And my little kid at youth practice in Princeton gear, Princeton youth gear, was like, Coach 10. That was funny to me. Like, he took it in good stride.
Yeah.
Some of these things, when you start directing it at people, it's just kind of like, I get this whole thing of like not everybody needs to get their feelings hurt, but now you're kind of pushing buttons that don't necessarily need to be pushed. When you win, that should be your win, your victory for you, not necessarily a gloat over,
like
somebody.
the whole finger guns thing, like that. That's close. That's like borderline.
If he'd have done, he did it to John Smith in that corner. I'm standing up for my coach, and I'd have shoved him back
100%.
too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now,
like,
if he did it to his corner. Like, hey guys, I got him.
100% okay at that point. But when you direct it at the coach and then you're doing that and you know what's going to happen,
you should have expected the retaliation, and
So
that's what I'm saying. When you're doing something that's going to get a retaliation, that's when we cross the line. Now, if he turned and did it to his corner, like, hey, I got him, hey.
Well, but it's not like I would say it's kind of innocent, like just a little finger. It's not like he grandstanded about it, like it was just like a.
But he did it. He looked at their corner did it. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to get a reaction when you do it to the team. Again, it was since he did it to that team and to their corner and to like a legend and the G Filler was like, I don't think G Filler might have still been ticked about it, but like if he did it to his coach and was like, hey coach, like.
But then it didn't have the same impact. Like that one.
But again, the celebration would have been for him. It wouldn't have been looking for a response.
See, and then, like I said, it kind of toes the line of appropriate. What as much as I hate it, although I thought it was hilarious, it was funny. And I actually tagged you in it and all that. But with what DeSanto did coming up and like throwing the 5 out before the match even ends, giving the thumbs up, and then shoving them afterwards, that's where it kind of crosses that line. It's like
The 5 and the thumbs up,
like
they carried the dude across the mat. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have got your butt carried across the mat. Should have been
Yeah.
better than that. But the extra shove and then the stuff when it started getting directed toward.
somebody. It just kind of at that point it was like a little too much. Although, like I said, I thought it was hilarious. Might
Oh
have been a
gosh,
little
yeah,
too
no,
much.
I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie about it.
The Suriano
Loved
one,
it.
now that one, was that a little too much? Because it's not like there was some intense jawing back and forth. It's just he got up
He
and
just
got in his
hyped
face.
it, and he was
he
yelling.
just hyped. Yeah.
I-
but at the same
because
time,
the way
could've-
because the way that was defused so quickly, I think everybody was okay with that
Yeah.
one. I mean, and I think Sirianni was even just like brushed him off. Was like,
But I'm saying,
if
at that
Sirianni,
point, it
but
could have gone
but it
south
could have because
very
Sirianni
quick.
could have turned into him, and it could have got ugly.
very quick, and those refs wouldn't have been able to stop that. I'm sorry.
I
I don't care how many. You can have 2-3 refs on those guys. Those guys are gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those
So,
those
but
are
yeah,
savages.
in that case, because of the way it was handled so quickly, I think it's okay. But it could have gotten ugly real
It
bad,
could have,
and
yeah.
it could have been like team points on both really quick. So kudos to Brands for picking your boy up real quick, and kudos to Sirianni for being able to walk that off and and not let that
Yeah.
escalate and just let that be kind of just a cool moment. Sirianni, I know, doesn't necessarily
he's
think
letting
it's a
it
cool
marinate.
moment. Yeah,
He's
I know
letting
he's
it
not thinking
marinate.
it's a cool moment, but thanks for letting it just be that moment,
Yeah.
and then like handling it the right way. Like he's looking for it when he comes back around.
Yeah, when he's
Yeah,
letting it marinate.
Yeah,
That
which is
that
kind of the way
slow cook.
kind of the way it kind of should be,
Yeah.
in an essence. So I'm good with that one.
Same with G Feller. I guarantee you, G Feller's like, all right.
Oh,
I might
G-Feller.
have shoved you, but
No,
just
they're
wait.
Oh, and Ashlaw's like, you shoved me at my place. It's so they're looking for each other again.
Oh yeah, it's they. It's up here now.
So I mean, which is cool. Again, stories, wrestling,
Yeah.
being able to promote, being able to talk about it. As long as nobody ducks anybody, we can have that happen.
Yep.
So
No one anymore gets injured.
you're
so-
wondering what we're talking about ducking and missing. See our previous episodes. Okay. But no, I mean, yeah, that's kind of how I think about it right now, and it's an interesting debate to be having because, like Kel Sanderson said in his day, you wouldn't have thought to do it. It just wasn't a part of it. I think that has to do with culture changes and change in society and like again social media and how things are done and what's seemingly acceptable from a young age, and like part of it you think about is like, now it's almost too late
to do anything
to
right
stop
now.
that. Yeah, I mean we can't stop what
A whole generation's accustomed to. I mean,
Yeah, no, I mean
and it's
what
I
you
don't know
can
if
do
it's-
though is
Yeah.
make sure that people realize what is too far, what
Yeah.
isn't, and add that accountability to it. Which I think wrestling has always been great for everybody across the board. Holding yourself accountable, and I think wrestling is at a moment where we can get our guys to celebrate, we can make it entertaining, and still be wrestling classic, and still hold people accountable to do what's right in the long term.
yeah. I mean, I also think like you said, it's just cultural changes. Back then, a lot of people were a lot more respectful. I mean, you don't really have
That's what I'm saying. I think
and the social media. You can actually now directly talk trash over, and a lot of people can see it. So it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's more public.
It's
more
a very different time now.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like I don't want to say more's online, but it's easier to get a situation
Fired up.
blown up. Yeah, like because
Yeah.
now if someone runs around and they're telling their friends like, oh, this guy said he's gonna beat you.
And
that's-
that's it. It's you're taking that grade school, middle school mentality
and
of
amplifying
he
it.
said, she said about this, and now with social media, he said, she said is now instantaneous
It's like
with
100,000
not
views.
just depending on the thing, not just the 20 people on the playground,
No.
but now we got the 20,000 people in attendance,
Yeah.
all watching, all knowing.
And it's a good and a bad thing. It really
It
is.
really
'cause
is. It really
it's
is
a good
both.
thing for
And-
building like hyping up, but at the same time, it can be a bad thing because it's going down a road where you're going to allow.
That's why I think like wrestling
more.
will come out on top. Like I believe in wrestling so much. Like we can still do this and find a way to keep people accountable to the point of like celebration, trash talking, and then still doing the fundamentals of wrestling, making everything else in life easy, learning how to deal with adversity and adversity. Now there are new adversities now, like learning how to deal with tweets, learning how to deal with somebody saying something. Learning how to deal with celebrations. I
Yeah.
mean, the other thing is, back in the day, two things would have happened with that. One, somebody would have celebrated like that, and one a coach probably would have done something, or possibly the other person would there would have been no restraint, like it'd been unheard of, like it'd been like mass chaos too.
Yeah.
So that could have gone either way as well. So. Well, I guess before we go too much far off in a tangent, well, not really a tangent we're going, but we can end up down a whole rabbit hole with all that. But speaking of like the toughness and how wrestling is, want to talk about the point thing?
Yeah.
So we've already talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, why is it like? And these are a couple questions that we have about wrestling. Like, thinking about it, only sport where something happens, whether it be the coach or the player, we lose a team point.
Yeah.
Is any of it worth a team point? When you have a penalty in the NFL, it's yards, might be positioning or something else, but they're not taking points off the scoreboard.
No.
Baseball, like a pretty aggressive, egregious thing. Dude beams a dude up in the head.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take a point off the
No,
board.
you just get ejected.
You get ejected.
I don't think you really face a fine either, unless it's something super severe.
Yeah, but like you can't take a point off.
Yeah.
Basketball, like you said, technical. Now the other team may have a chance to score some points because they get to shoot, but you're not losing points.
Or a reach-in foul, like a reach-in foul or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not really. Yeah, it's not because the game still goes
Or
on.
the technicals, like the officials getting yelled at by the coaches.
Yeah.
No one's like, unsportsmanlike on you, coach. You're out, and we're gonna take a point away.
No, see, that's the thing with wrestling too, which is weird.
We lose team points. and
You
it
can
becomes-
have football players, you can have football coaches berate referees. The minute a wrestling coach even slightly disagrees with the referee and they're not having it, they're like, all right, unsportsmanlike.
and you're ejected too.
Yeah, like it's
And
like, whoa.
so you're gonna pay a fine, and we're gonna take a point, and we're gonna steal your firstborn child, and
Yeah.
I mean, literally, that's what it really seemingly comes down to. It's like
ridiculous. Like I don't want to say it's ridiculous because it is that thing of holding people accountable. But at the same time, it's like I voice my disagreement instead of being open. If I catch you on a bad day, it can cost me. Like
why does it? I want to know why does it impact our sport so much that we lose a team point to the point of
it can cost
like,
us an entire match.
it can cost an entire match. You have matches come down to the final thing, like. Okay, since I don't home around at all any, Chattanooga versus App. Kyle Rochelle, they make a challenge. Was it a good challenge? No, because he ended up scoring the takedown through the sequence, but he'd already thrown the block. So he was hoping for a takedown earlier. Instead, the wrestling continued, and our guy got a takedown. Well, apparently the official looked at it. And since there was no takedown when what he was challenged initially, like he stopped the time, took away the 2-point takedown, and started him back earlier. It's like, no, the wrestling continued. You just say, no, there was no takedown there, but it continued on. There was no interference.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Kyle Rochelle and them were arguing. They went off on the official, and so he hit him with an unsportsmanlike and a team point. So then it comes down to the final match of the duel, and final match of the duel, and our guy we're down by 4, so instead of just a win tying the duel, and I think we actually had another pin or something, so we might have even had criteria, so if we tie we could win. Instead, now he has to get the major to tie or a tech to win,
or a pin to win. Yeah.
So, which changes how you wrestle. So, and the match went into overtime, and then I stepped away for a second, and then they were shaking hands, and then we had lost by decision. So maybe he lost, but how would the wrestling have changed if he wasn't going for, a move to get the pin, or move to get the tech, or move, and something like that. So it changes how people wrestle, and how things happen. Princeton Rutgers, they went to the final match. I'm not sure exactly and they did. They needed he needed the major, and he got the major. There were, in that case, I don't think there were any weird point things that could have happened that would have changed it to needing something else. But it could have been. What if there had been a point instead of major? He would have had to have had a pin.
Yeah.
If there was a penalty point, he would have had to have a pin to win. Well, he was good enough to get the major, but maybe not the pin. So it changes the outcome of the entire duel as well,
really
which
does.
is crazy.
So it's almost as if is it really worth it to voice disapproval, or to even
Or it's weird to
Try to
think
stand
about,
up.
like the text that G sent me the other night. It was Hillcrest and Burns wrestling.
Yeah.
Kudos to Hillcrest and Burns for being in the semis for the team state. Both great programs, both great coaches. If I was to cheer for other teams, like those coaches, I really admire. I like those guys, like Russ Howard,
Yeah.
Rich. All those guys over there. The Bells over at Hillcrest. I mean, they all do great things. But it came down to
You
it
could
was
have nicer people in the Bells,
yeah, definitely,
They're
definitely
so
what they
nice.
do for the sport in general in this state.
especially
But
Tommy.
yeah, but the score was 28-21 going into the final match, and it was like short a pin and a technical coach's point or something. They've got it locked up. But it's weird but going along with what we said, it's like it's not unheard of. Like if say Burns
Yeah.
got a pin and like they disagreed and argued, it could have happened. Like
And in our sport, it's very realistic that can happen.
it
because
could have happened.
'cause
Like
it's so
it's
on the
seemingly
go.
unlikely, but yeah, but like,
You
and
get the
imagine if
wrong
their
angle.
guy got pinned and they didn't agree with the pin call and they were arguing that no, it wasn't,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, that you get dinged and now it's a team point. And
Well, see,
stuff.
that's
like,
the thing, especially in high school, like where it can be a big deal like that. In college, you have more replay, so you can look at it a little bit. But with like high school, it's one of those things that you have people looking at things from different angles, including a referee. And yes, you're supposed to have two in big matches. That way, you have one circling the
Yeah.
inside and the other kind of on top. But it's very easy for a referee to miss something. For instance, they miss a locked hands, and you're sitting here screaming, "That's
Locked
a
hand.
locked hands." If that ref doesn't like the way you're
yelling
Yeah.
it, or if we've been on him
Ten-
the entire time
Yeah.
because it's happened a couple more times and maybe he's just done with us or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
it could have happened.
it's almost
so.
like the refs hold your destiny in a sense. In a sense.
So it's just a crazy thing to think about how that works out. So
Yeah, like
But-
we're the only sport that really does that.
yeah.
It seems
But did
like-
you see that Hillcrest won?
Hillcrest won?
Hillcrest
I figured
won.
it would.
So Hillcrest won. Even though Burns kind of smoked him earlier on in the year,
Yeah.
I mean they just find a way to do it. But I found it interesting because I read the article. I knew they had won because of texting last night. But I found it interesting that like the article in the paper, like they had talked about like a possible like discrepancy with weighing in and who stepped out and which way and whatnot. And like the paper kind of posted everything that was there. I was like, oh, that seemed like I thought that would be like almost closed door talk right there versus like in the paper. I was
What do
like,
you mean by discrepancy?
all right, so Kilgore was wrestling 195 previously or something like that, and then when they weighed in 185, the high school weight's different from middle school,
Yeah,
so I'm always getting, I think it was 185. They said the weigh in, they asked for anybody else at that weight, and Kilgore didn't weigh in right then. He weighed in with 97,
87.
but he was like 81 pounds. And then something happened. He was like, well, we're not weighing in for 85 anymore. But then he still, because he weighed in at 81, I guess because they didn't maybe have the official there present to determine where he weighed
Yeah.
in at. Like he came out at 85. Was he technically on the
Te-
weight?
yeah, technically.
But did he step to the scale when the 85 pounder stepped to the scale? Is the question in fact. And one coach, I think Russ was saying he wasn't there, and I'm not sure. I'm not there. Wasn't sure what Robbie's take was on that because the paper only had Russ's side of the story on that because it was local Spartanburg paper
Yeah,
versus
okay.
Hillcrest. So I, not knowing what Robbie's take on that or what happened with the weigh-in things, but it said that, and he was like, I guess one of those challengeable things, but he was like, he should have done something else different. Like maybe should have made sure the officials were there. But the officials were there. They were doing skin checks
Yeah.
while the weight was going on. But somebody's signature or something written down on the weigh-in sheet. So I just found it interesting that coach's talk was published in the paper. I was like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and it's
normally,
pretty interesting actually.
because like most people, not most, everybody else who doesn't wrestle understood nothing of what was really said there about like, so he weighed this but
Yeah.
didn't weigh at this time, and
Yeah, and like for me, like
and
I'm
there was
just
no
trying to
signature or note on it.
I'm kind of interested. Like I'm trying to kind of intrigued on that because like like that doesn't really like I haven't really formed an opinion on that, but like that does sound pretty interesting. I mean,
yeah, I want to know what
I'd
both sides.
I'd
Yeah,
like to be a fly on the
like
wall
did
there.
like did somebody say something in the back said no, this counts,
Yeah.
and somebody didn't hear, or no, and he stepped out anyway, or
Yeah, because you have
you know.
procedure, especially at the higher level. You have kind of like procedure.
Yeah.
And,
So, and that also comes down to that, who steps on the mat first and who's wrestling where, So
which was what we
and-
did.
yeah, and that's a whole other situation. But and also that was a case where that was talked about, like
Yeah.
what weight is he going to go at, and because they were talking about it at practice beforehand and whatnot too. So to me it was just an interesting, like, wow, all
It's
that
a
made
chess match. It really is. It's
it
not.
really is.
It's kind of
so.
funny because like when you don't really have that in football and all that. It's not like people are sitting there thinking, well, Tom Brady might be a receiver this game.
Yeah.
No one's ever thinking that. Or like a baseball player who's like a power hitter, like, well, he might be on the mound. It's like you kind of know where everyone's going to be. With wrestling,
Yeah.
it can change at any time. I mean, except in like college and all that. But like in high school and all that, it's kind of like, well, exactly. Like he's weighing this much. He's been wrestling here, but he's weighing this much.
He waited. I mean, he
And
waited
it,
for
it literally can change everything. Like one weight class can change everything.
Yeah. Well, while we're talking about the point thing, this is another one that it only happens in college, so I was wondering what your take on it is wrestling is tough enough, right?
Mhm.
But we're the only sport also where, at least at the highest level, you take an injury timeout, and you get hurt. The other person gets choice of positioning.
Yeah.
Now, I never thought much of it. I thought it was always a good rule, but I was like, hey man, NFL. Hurts his leg, he just goes out for a play. You don't change the position of that ball. You pick up play where play ended.
Mhm.
This is where the ball was. You still have the ball. It's still third down. It's still second down. It's still whatever. It's still this many yards away. Basketball, somebody gets hurt. Still your possession. Throw-in is here. Nothing changes. Other team doesn't get a choice of, no, I want the ball now.
Yeah.
No, I want a different down. No, I want... We in wrestling, we're that gung-ho and that tough that we're like, to not want to call like injury timeouts and all that kind of stuff. Now I get it, some people, because of the whole whirly bird thing, different areas like Rock Hill area, like whirly bird.
It got shady in here.
It just happens, but where that's needed in the sense that, like, okay, other person gets choice now because they took an unnecessary timeout. Now we're gonna pick
But
down
is
so
it
we can get it.
Is it an unnecessary timeout? I mean, because depending on
But I know
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So it's weird to say that. Like all of a sudden now, most people will say he was hurt. I'm taking down so he can work on getting an escape point. You get choice of position. Heck, you could be Knopf. He got hurt. I taking top. I'm gonna hurt him some more. Like I don't. It's the only sport like you get hurt and then you get hurt again because now they get a choice of where they want to be.
I mean, it's almost insult to injury almost.
It really is. Like, and I never much thought about it until we were talking about
Yeah.
like, why is it wrestling does it this way? And then I was like, what else do we do that's us specific?
And I mean, I kind of like I like it in a sense, but I also don't.
That's what I was saying.
Like,
At
it's-
first, I never gave it much thought. I was always
Yeah.
like, yeah, all right, we get choice now. He's hurt, or like,
Yeah.
we're gonna have choice when we come back, or this and that. Oh no, it's
It's like you think about it. It's like, well, I mean, because then you got to put it on. Like, what if it's you out there and then you go out there and say you get
like you really twisted your ankle for a
yeah,
second.
or you bounced your head off the mat. And
You
and
need a
You
second.
don't know what's
you
happening. for a
really
second.
need
Yeah.
that time. Like, is it your fault that now, like, he's choosing down to get a second escape, and now it's,
Yeah.
2-0 instead of just 1-0, and we should have just started again on our feet, possibly? Like,
Yeah, I think it's like I said, I'm kind of torn because at the same time it is kind of I like it because it makes you want to be tough, but at the same time,
Yeah,
it's
it's
really
it's
it
one of
really
those
is
real-
adding
re-
insult to injury for.
it's
for
one of those
no
wrestling-specific rules that nobody else has
Yeah.
a point where you got hurt, the other team gets a choice of what they want to do now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just really weird to me. And then, while we're on that, I don't think we ever talked about it, but we've seen it several times, the whole hands to the face rule. I know that's just a different, in a way it's a different way we're talking about. They've got to just make that a hands to the face, first time warning, and then if you
Yeah.
continue to egregiously do it, then they can give a point. But
I think there has to be a sort of
there has to be a warning.
well, there has to be a warning, but also you have to have like some sort of like discrepancy. Like if it's blatant,
Mhm.
like if you look at them and they just go straight palm to the face. Then I feel like you step. But if it's like incidental, you should be like, hey, all right.
Because
look,
like the
your
whole
hands.
Vincent Joseph and
Yeah.
Masso, right?
Mhm.
It was Vincenzo Massa.
Yeah,
Did
that-
you see the?
Yeah.
Then like they both had a hands to the face,
Mhm.
like, and then you're
And
thinking
I think it ended up going to OT too.
it
didn't
did,
Yeah.
and then Massa stopped wrestling in the last 5 seconds of OT and like
Yeah.
gave that. I was like, why is he stopped moving? I was just like, all he had to do was keep moving.
Right.
I know you were like, mine too,
I was
but
irate.
but I was like,
especially because I don't like Shinzo. So
and it's your team, Michigan.
yeah.
And
Exactly.
but
That's
I
what
was
I'm
like,
saying,
I was like, why did he stop moving? He just literally stopped
Yeah.
moving for 5 seconds, and it was only. Anyway,
5 seconds. So think about that. 5 seconds can literally win.
Okay, I didn't mean to bring up bad
Yeah.
memories here.
No,
Sorry.
it's just, like it just baffles me. Like football, 5 seconds. All right, you kind of slack off for 5 seconds in football.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Not a big deal. Basketball, you might let the guy get in the paint. He might score 2 points. It's not gonna be a big deal. No, you slack off for 5 seconds in wrestling, you can get put to your back. It's happened to me. I'm not even gonna lie. Happened to me my freshman year. I got distracted. Like so, during a tournament, you're hearing whistles everywhere,
Huh?
and I hear something. And I kind of like look up for a split second. Boom! Blast double pinned in like 30 seconds. I was like,
Whoop. Where did that come from?
you take your eye off ball for like 0.2 seconds and you're done.
But yeah.
But yeah, no, I was.
But that match, like before it went into overtime, I think it was the third period when both of them happened.
Yeah.
There were 2 hands to the faces, and I was like, ooh, hands to the face, and I can't remember who did it first, and I was like, oh, that point, yeah, and then it happened again. And I was like, did they really just tie it back up?
Yeah.
Hands to the faces. I was like, it was such a weird like set of feelings of like, ooh, the refs kind of had to do what they stepped in, and then all of a sudden, ooh, they're back at it again.
Yeah.
It's a match again. Like like it drew you back into it, but that's not how you want to be drawn back into it. I would have just rather seen that last minute of wrestling just be a minute of wrestling and not 2 hands to the faces, stopping the match, and then going to
OT.
You know.
No, and it's crazy just because like I said, I feel like there should be some sort of, the ref should, it's kind of like a judgment call because for instance, we talked about it already. Suriano and Fix. That just slight incidental. It didn't. It didn't have a big impact.
No.
It wasn't forceful. It's not like he gouged an eye or anything.
I mean, and I think
It's
that's
a
what the
big
rule is set for,
matchup.
to stop that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But you can
But
do
it's
that
such
with
a
the
big
warning.
match.
Yeah.
You can be like, all right, look, watch your hand. They do it in MMA. Matter of fact,
Like,
John
that
Jones
should have been the warning. It should be
Yeah.
like, all right, guys, can't do it again. You do
because
it again,
you
and
just
you get it.
you just pissed a ton of people off
You
who
know,
were watching
so
that match. They're like, what do you
If
mean
that
you're
rule
anything
doesn't change for next year, that's one that I'm gonna
Yeah.
be like uber surprised about.
Yeah.
So, I just
I
think
kind of
that's
hope they
great.
get rid of that. I hope, at least the collegiate level, I kind of hope they go to what they talked about a few years ago. Yeah, they did the beard thing where you can have, like,
Yeah.
but like, not wearing headgear.
My only reason why, I think we said it before. The reason why I think they'll never get rid of the headgear is just
Just
it's a
image.
money.
Yeah.
It's image and it's a money thing. Wrestling companies, for the most part, we don't get a whole lot of new gear.
Yeah,
and
we don't
other
really
things
have,
like
and we
that.
don't have much
So it's
gear.
new
period.
equipment type stuff, which
Yeah.
we've gotten more
Yeah.
and more gear with shirt sleeves and all that kind of stuff. But
But I'm saying, it's
but
not
if
like
you
we can
take
customize
Cliff
too
Klein,
much. Yeah.
Cliff Clean, if you take away the headgear, yes, they do a lot of singlets and warm stuff, but
Knee pads.
and knee pads, but you're taking away 30 sets of headgear per team for some people's orders per year, and that's like a staple product as far
Yeah.
as money for them. So that's the reason why I don't see it going away. I think it'd be an optional
Maybe
thing.
some,
But
it could be optional and maybe
But
like incentive.
I think
I'm not
it-
saying like get rid of it altogether, but like maybe if it's say your school's like, all right, we're going to provide you headgear,
Yeah.
whether you wear it or not, we're still going to pay for it.
yeah.
Um,
So so I think it's just a money thing there.
did we even check all our headgear out? Did we get all our headgear back?
I got to go through. I put it all. I cleaned up the area and boxed
Yeah.
it all up, but I haven't gone through and done the count yet, just because school's just been busy. So, but I did go back there and straighten it all up, and I got a couple more that were handed to me like a week or two after practice still. So, not an overly big deal. We also got the new headgears in. So I mean, but that's
we got a ton of headgear. Like we
Yeah,
have
so-
enough headgear to support like a
Yeah.
small village,
so that'll be fine.
a small
But-
wrestling village. We would just take it to the compound.
Speaking of gear, looking forward to finally Terra Grappler stuff. I feel bad for them as far as a company with the way their pre-order
that
stuff
launch-
went.
That launch kind of was
That
botched.
launch got botched. They're trying to take responsibility for it. Like, I'm actually looking forward to getting the stuff in. Everything's supposed to ship by the latest this Saturday, so I'll get stuff in. And for me, since I'm a coach, cool deal. I got some new shoes coming in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some gift cards in there and some coupons off and some stuff. Works out great for me.
How much?
Not a
how
big
many-
deal.
How much in gift cards did they give you?
I think they said like gift cards, socks, and beanie, and promo codes. So it's all like $75 worth.
$75 worth. Cool.
So I'm like, for me, cool.
Best in me a pair of shoes.
But the problem is, I feel bad for like the competitor athlete who wanted to get a pair for this season, especially say a senior. You know, they kind of got screwed. You know,
Well,
and
that
I
too,
feel
but
bad.
also, and then you hate it for just the company. 'Cause
That's what I'm saying, because they were
we-
trying to get that launch and get it going.
Wrestling
so,
is not. We're not the most popular, so it's kind of one of those things like.
So, like I said, I hate it for them. I'm looking forward to the stuff finally coming in. I'll probably wear it during freestyle, I guess. While I'm coaching for freestyle. Obviously, I'll use the coupons and stuff to, get some other stuff because I guess the other stuff should be in stock. But yeah, I feel bad for them. Speaking of gear, but looking forward to doing that so we can, let you check them out too, and I think just being able to do another review on the episode would be kind of cool. So it'll be fun. So looking forward to doing that.
Also, maybe the fight shorts soon. Maybe.
Yes, and that's what we were
gotta
talking about. Fights. We were talking about that some more. So
Yeah.
we might just do our own pre-order and set it up so we'll do the pre-order to pay for them, and then once we get the number desired, set up the pre-order for open for like a month or something like that, and anybody wants to order it within that month, and then they'll be in like 4 weeks after, at the end of the month, after all the orders are in. Might be one of the best ways. So we're working on getting that set up. So gear for us, love the shirts. Those were a great hit. Always felt kind of fun hustling those at the tournament. It seemed like it was like shirt,
Venmo
so-
me the money. Cool.
yeah, actually, we did that. So PayPal, it was like, all right, cool deal. It was always kind of funny. But man, looking forward to I think some good
comfortable shirts too. Like
Oh,
not
gosh.
even just like
Self-service
shamelessly.
plug,
Yeah, but
but-
no, I mean like really.
That
really
everything's
comfortable.
gone to that tri-blend cotton.
Yeah.
Feels really good. Yeah, I like it a lot. So, but looking forward to seeing some more good wrestling coming up. We're getting close to our high school season. We've got Upper State coming up next weekend. The team duels is this weekend, and then the state finals the weekend after that. But then that also means conference tournaments coming up.
Mhm.
So
Wow, wrestling.
conference tournaments coming up. Got to see some of these names start hitting that weren't hitting earlier, so that we can determine. Yes, we're going to sit on the seating committee at NCAA's, and we will seat everybody appropriately. We wish.
God, that's gonna happen.
No, okay, yeah,
We'll have our
so-
booth out there.
Yeah, we'll have our booth, and yes, we'll get our Hodge points, which that's a whole other episode. We need to talk about like Hodge voting and Quasi's take on that, which I think I brought him along to the single Hodge winner.
Yeah,
So,
it would be 100%. It would be the coolest thing if like one day we did get like a
something. Just
a thing in the mail from the NCAA and be like, hey, we want y'all to do some coverage at the tournament. Here's tickets. I'd be like,
Done. We got you.
book my plane ticket.
We got it. So, all right.
Yeah.
You got anything else to close out? Anything new? All right, cool. So we'll be hitting up probably a couple more subcasts along the way, and just keeping things active. And I'm looking forward to seeing DeSanto get back on
Oh
the
yeah,
map.
that's the subcast we're gonna have to do. Has DeSanto gone overboard?
No, and then we're gonna see him back on the mat soon. Oh, my
Yeah.
favorite post was it was somebody else. It's like, you don't suspend DeSanto from a match, you suspend wrestling from DeSanto.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's hilarious. So we're gonna end it on that one.